And good afternoon. We're live now on air with today's Getting to Grips with the Skoog webinar. So, what's a Skoog? This, my friends, is a Skoog. It's a tactile musical instrument, which is being created specifically to address the challenges faced by young people with physical or learning difficulties or disabilities in accessing music and engaging in music with their peers. It has evolved from that as a generic kernel of idea, several years of research now into a whole platform for engaging in music. It's a new way of playing and teaching and learning, and also supporting traditional teaching methods. It is music for everyone. So this is going to be a very quick half an hour webinar on just getting started with Skoog, what it's all about, how you can use it, and the different ways it can be applied. So this lovely squeezy, look at it, soft everywhere. Ooh, okay, this lovely device can be used right from PMD, PMLD settings, music therapy, therapeutic play, right through to contemporary orchestral performance. And it can be satisfying and of use in all of those environments. So my name is Ben. I'm one of the inventors of Skoog, along with Dr. David Sklina and the whole Nesta team, with people like Professor Nigel Osborne, Murray Campbell, Professor Dave Lee, a lot of professory. There's a lot of qualifications behind this. It has a lot of people feeding into it, and we're just really proud to be able to bring it to you here today. So I'm going to place mine on a mount, a Skoog music mount, so you can see it. I'm going to raise it up a little bit. We use these suction mounts with Skoog to help in the positioning and presentation, and particularly when working with individuals who have physical disabilities, then being able to find the right place to access the Skoog is really key in getting the most out of it. The other thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to do quite a bit of screen sharing to show you how the software works, how you can set it up, and just to give us a quick general fast Skoog tutorial. Don't forget, we've got loads of videos on the YouTube channel. There's a playlist of tutorials for 1.6 that give you all the key features, and you can do those at your leisure. And again, if there are any questions, if you're watching this, then do use the Q&A. Drop in the questions, or if not, I will probably just talk away for the next 25 minutes. So I've got my Skoog, setting it up. I mean, just start from scratch. It's a USB device, so to set it up, I do this. That's simple, okay? Once again, just in case you missed it, USB port, cable, in. There we go. Now, it is crucial that you are not touching the Skoog or handling it when you plug it in. It calibrates at contact, so just remember to follow the instructions there. If you're using it on a mount like I am, make sure it's fixed in the position that you want it before you connect it, or you can always, after getting into the right position, unplug it, reconnect it, and use the USB reconnect button. So what I'm going to do now, so I've got my Skoog all set up. I am going to switch into a screen sharing mode and give you a quick tour of the Skoog software. I'm going to make sure that I keep the Q&A bar there. So here's my desktop. Let's get some things moved around. This is my Skoog software. I'm going to keep this little photo booth feed so you can see how I'm touching the Skoog as well. So Skoog, USB device, tactile, multi-dimensional sensor. It's sensitive all over to a variety of different types of contact. You can adjust the sensitivity, you can change the instrument sound, you can change the notes, you can load on your own sounds, you can use it as a MIDI controller, you can use it with samples, you can play colored scores, you can use it with fart sounds, you can do a language, numeracy, comprehension, use it in physiotherapy, occupational therapy, or just to have fun playing some tunes with your favorite jams. Okay, so my Skoog is set up here so you can see it, and here's the software, and essentially you choose an instrument. Let's choose marimba, and then you assign a set of notes. Now, so here's one of the first points of difference with a traditional instrument. Skoog has 5 active surfaces, or sensitive to 5 dimensions for the pitch settings, and we color code these with this nice colorful button. But remember, the whole thing can play. And using that, which means we can have 5 notes at a time. Now, they can be any 5 notes. They don't have to be limited to pentatonic scales, but it does work very well with pentatonics, and we have a lot of presets built in for the non-music aficionados, so you can just whack in some presets and start jamming immediately. So I've chosen on the Instruments tab, and there's 21 modeled instruments in here. I've chosen the marimba there. And if I go to the notes, I set notes, and I can use the preset scales, major, minor, different fingerings, tonic, let's do E flat, octave, higher is higher, and lower is lower. I can tune it acoustically by ear, and I can also transpose it. Sounds like something from Forbidden Planet there. There are reset buttons for when things get weird. I can also set the notes manually myself. Either select that select that, what is that? It's a padlock. There we go. Lost for words for a minute. And open that, or go to user defined, and then click a color. Let's click yellow, because you can, oh no, that's not yellow. That's green. Green. Select green. So on the keyboard, you select that note. You can save and load patterns of notes once you've done them. We have loads and loads of note files and songs that have been transcribed available on the website. Those are free from Skoog Music /resources. We will post up some links at the end of this. So this is where we choose notes, and you essentially, I'm going to go back to a pentatonic. Okay, so I'm sorry, I just got a bit carried away there. So you essentially choose an instrument, you choose a set of notes that are going to work, and what this does, I mean, it's essentially you have a customizable, tactile, human-centered object that is delightful to play with hands, feet, elbows, rolled on the floor. You set very sensitive, or it can be used really robustly by strong guys. And that gives you an approach to overcoming the physical limitations of acoustic instruments in reference to presentation and accessibility. And then you have this idea that you don't need all the notes all the time, which is not an idea, it's just a fact. And really what you need to do to play with pieces of music and play with other people is to say, well, we're going to use these notes, and then you use those notes, and they'll fit together, and that will create as a nice piece of music. And so we just physically do that with Skoog, and by doing that, you enable and free people to start improvising and playing with their own musicality, and to learn music through play, through engaging, active participation, inclusion. Okay, let's have a look at some examples of how you do that. Very quickly before we leave the screen sharing for the software, we've seen instrument selection, choosing notes. There are built-in colored scores that you can use for playing along to. There we go, and it'll feed you colors. There is the advanced settings where you can adjust sensitivity by surface, by direction. You can turn on extra additional expressive parameters to control using the twist tilt function. Instrument selection we've been on, and now let's just show you the last 2 bits very quickly. if my computer doesn't crash. There we go. This is sampling, where we can record our own sounds in, like that, and then on the red we get, there we go. I can edit it, I can pitch it, I can copy it, I can put different sounds into each buffer, I can take the same sound in all buffers, create an instrument with that sound, do all kinds of tactile presentation, I can do press and hold triggering, and I can do scrubbing. So, and I can save things once I've done them, and I can pitch them. MIDI is what MIDI is. I can turn the MIDI on, there we go. MIDI is now on. Now, I'm not sure. Can you hear my MIDI on that? Yes, you can. There we go. There's the fantastic MIDI grand piano. And we can select from our standard bank of general MIDI instruments a muted trumpet, perhaps. Yeah, that's pretty vile. But they're there. They're great. You've got another. It gives you another 128 voices. Or was it 132? I don't remember. Or you can hook into something like GarageBand, and that gives you access to some really, really good sounds. There's so many other platforms for making sounds that this can act as a controller to an accessible, intuitive controller. And so what I'd like to do now, and that's 10 minutes. And really, that's all there is to know technically. Obviously, you know, it may take time to go through and learn how to set the functions differently, but it's very simple. Point, click, color-coded, and in reference to the object, simple stuff. So that's a much nicer. I'm playing the MIDI grand. Oh, let's have a bit of a smoky clav. Sorry, that's quite nice clav there. Anyway, so just to point out that you can use it with other software. It will talk to all of your other music software, and it makes it a really diverse tool. Thank you, sampling. Let's turn you off. Let's go back to the let's go to the flute. One of the other crucial differences that is important to note, it uses physical modeling for its own main sound engine. This gives us these expressive. You can hear the air, the blowing as I'm pressing. I'm blowing. Beautiful. And I can also add, say, embouchure control. So as I'm twisting, I'm changing the shape of the mouth that's actively blowing in. Important and crucial as well, I can make it polyphonic. Okay, up to 3 at a time, but never opposing sides, because I just cancel my pressure out. It needs to actually physically be deformed. Okay, enough of the technical stuff. So essentially what it is, I mean, in the first instances, let's have a look at use for creative improvisation or improvised musical play within a PMD or PMLD context. So I'm going to go back to my, stop my screen share here. Hopefully that will kick out. So yes, what I'm going to show you first is a little video clip. I'm going to open up the YouTube sharing app. Cracking little addition by Google. It really makes things nice and simple. It stops me having to navigate away. Okay. And I am going to seek out a video to add to our playlist. I'm going to say PMLD Skoog. Okay, nice and easy. That's what we want to see. If I could only type. There we go. Here's the clip, 30 seconds. It should show us all we need to know. So, yes, hello. Apologies for this. We had a bit of an issue there with Google locking me out quickly. So going back to that clip that we just watched, pause it here. So in this clip, what you have is Kieran, who has quite profound and multiple physical and learning difficulties. He's completely blind and he doesn't have any language as such, but he communicates well. He's able to he makes choices and communicates those choices to his caregivers and teachers. And he's chosen this guitar sound through presentation. And what we've done here is we've set the Skoog scale to match the backing track, which means then by simply playing with the object, he's able to express himself and create music. So let's let him do that. So there you can see Kieran, he has his head up, which for a blind student in his situation is quite significant. He's focused, he's exploring different ways of touching and interacting with the Skoog, and because it responds dynamically, which means if I touch it differently, the sound is different. It really gives you a hands-on experience of sound. Because of that, it promotes him to move and interact with it in different ways, and that drives him to explore different possibilities. That is beautiful improvised musical play or therapeutic play, facilitated just by a classroom teacher and myself. It doesn't require anything more than just your time and your focus. You don't have to have any particular training or skill, but you do need to get involved. So that's one example, PMLD. Let's go straight on to the next example. Okay, which, oh no, you know what we're going to do? I'll show you how to do what we did there. So it's a quick screen share, start screen share, get rid of that. Are we screen sharing? Hello? Oh, I need to, hello, screen share. Yes, that was me, screen share. Wait a minute. That, screen share, desktop, start screen share. I don't know what's happening here. Yes, oh, no. Got an issue with the screen sharing this afternoon. Well, I'm going to crack on with the examples because we've had a quick tour of the software. We've had a little chat about where it's from. So let's crack on with the examples, and hopefully that will be enough for us. So, Technophonia Skoog. This is an example of Skoog being used in an orchestral situation or context. Let's in a minute. Right. So I'm just curious as to what. Whoa. No. Go back to yes. Be interested to know what you can see. I'm not sure what you can see. I can know what I can see. Anyway, so you can see the student with the Skoog. That's Stephanie Forrest. So in this, as opposed to being used for kind of improvised play, the notes have been set on the Skoog to play a specific melody. And then by following printed coloured score, Stephanie is able to play a scored part in the same manner as her peers, and able to perform with a mainstream orchestra. This performance toured the UK. Stephanie has now left school. She continues to play Skoog and other instruments. She's a musician in her own right now, and she's playing today in part of the festival. She'll be doing some stuff today. She's playing iPad and Skoog, and she's off to Stirling tomorrow. So it's a complete learning journey there, from starting off not doing music to learning Skoog as her instrument and other technologies, and then taking that further. And now, having left school, she's pursuing a musical career, which we're incredibly proud to have been a small part of. And just, yeah, she's an amazing musician. So let's watch her play the clarinet solo for this performance of Technophonia, which was a dress rehearsal before the premiere in Edinburgh. Okay, yeah, so there you had Skoog being used for performance, more traditional music teaching, lessons, learning notes, learning using score. You can mix that now. We have packs of teaching packs that combine the coloured Skoog scores with more traditional stave notation, also playing on the colours. That's really awesome. You can use that. So that's a more traditional orchestral or inclusive instrument practice application. Moving on, I now want to look a bit more advanced. Let's do Journey, Skoog, and before this, I actually want to watch that. So it can be used for all kinds of educational applications. Don't forget, it's incredibly tactile, it's incredibly durable. It can be bounced, dropped, thrown. We recommend the using of a 5-meter active USB extension to get the full plasticity out of it, and the functionality within a class environment, not being chained to the computer desk. It is biteable, as in it can attract biting, and you do need to avoid biting because it can damage it. Biting won't stop it working, and we can repair them. So if you do have a damaged Skoog out there, please let us know, get it back to us, and we'll care for the little fella, get him back up to health, and get him back to you. All right. So what I wanted to say now, so there's therapeutic applications, there's educational applications, but most importantly, there are fun applications. Now, I firmly believe, and I'll stake my academic credentials on this, that music should be fun. And if you're having fun, you're going to learn. It doesn't matter what that's doing. If you're engaged and you're having fun, you're learning, you're growing. And it's so important that all of our learning experiences are engaging and fun and inspiring, but also with music, it can take itself too seriously at times. We all can. All been there. But it's important that we don't. And Skoog is a great, fun way to engage in making music. One of the key resources we have for that is the top tunes page, where you can pick a tunes. We don't have all tunes, we have quite a few, and you can just find out where you can give you the key settings to dial into the Skoog. So it'll say this tune's in C minor, say, and if you select C minor on your Skoog, you will be able to jam to your heart's content with Bob Marley, or with Katy Perry, or with N-Dubs, or with Carla Rae Jepsen, or with will.i.am, or whoever it may be. And in fact, the entire catalogue of world music is your resource pack. Okay? Nothing you can't do, as long as you just get the details. So there's loads of ways we can help you with that, and we do provide loads of free resources, but all of the music in all of the world is your resource. Okay? importantly, the music that's in here too. But what I want to show you now is a clip of a young autistic lady, Samantha, who's an amazing musician and fantastic singer and a top Skoog player. I would like to stress that she's never had a Skoog lesson. Sam is she has a group. She plays by ear, and she has a fantastic ear. But I think this demonstrates how intuitive this is as an instrument to play. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch her rocking out to the 80s classic Journey by, ooh, who's it by again? I've totally blanked. It's by, yeah, so the band is Journey, Don't Stop Believing. So Sam, we just dialed into YouTube, we pulled the song up. Sam has got the notes set on her Skoog to cover the vocal melody, and you're going to see her just quickly work out where the notes are, and then she is going to rock it out. So I'm going to let her play out this webinar. The webinar will be over when she's finished. Please do email, tweet, get in touch with any questions. I see we've got one viewer at the moment. If there's any questions you have, actually, before we sign off today, perhaps you could type them into the Q&A, or you could type them into the chat window. Let's have a look. Oh, group chat. There we go. Hello, viewer. Are you there? Hello? Oh, look, I've come up as Skoog Music. I thought I got logged out. That's good. So what I'll do is I'll let Sam play, and you'll see Sam playing. She's playing really quite complex elements, lots of different flourishes, and stylistically she's engaged. We'll play through part of her, and then whilst you're getting your thoughts together, viewer, then I'll make myself available for questions at the end. If there's anything specific you have, technically, don't be short in emailing us or contacting us via the website or the Facebook page or any of those things. So let's let Sam rock this out, and then we'll get back on with things. Two shakes of a lamb's tail. One viewer. Am I the viewer? Oh, I don't know. Yes, I want to use the app. Right, pause there. So, sorry, I got logged out by Google for some reason. I'm back now, and let's listen to Sam play some more, and then I'll bring things together at the end. I'm going to pause over there. Okay. So yeah, that's Skoog. So Skoog is a tactile musical instrument with its own bespoke software package that supports a really broad range of musical activities, everything from playful, improvised games and using sound effects and working with narratives, right through to playing in an orchestra, doing unique compositions, experimental sound design. It can work on a high end, it can work really effectively directly and intuitively, and most of all, I think it's jolly good fun. All right? So I'm going to sign off now. This was just a short introduction today. The viewers that we had signed up previously in the week unfortunately couldn't make it. Normally we try and get a bit more interactive with webinars, so please sign up for more. We have a detailed list of webinars going around. There's a list on the QIAT. We have autism specialist webinars, we have sampling specialist ones, or inclusive instrument provision, and we also can do one-to-one video Skype demonstrations and training. We're here to help with all your Skoog needs. Please check out some of our videos, and yeah, happy Skooging. I'll speak to you later.